3 people are dead and several others injured after a person on a boat opened fire on a crowd at a riverfront bar in North Carolina. Officials there say they have a person matching the description of the shooter in custody, and there is no further threat to the public.
A lone gunman took the lives of 3 people and injured 5 others at a packed North Carolina waterfront bar late Saturday in what police described as highly premeditated attack. Nigel Max Edge, age 40, was detained by the Coast Guard and charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder, 5 counts of attempted murder, and 5 counts of assault with a deadly weapon on Sunday morning. Southport Police Chief Todd Coring stated that officers were dispatched to the American Fish Company at around 9:30 p.m. on Saturday night. According to reports, the shots came from a boat in the waterway outside of the bar. 3 people had their lives taken and were not publicly identified. Dosher Memorial Hospital confirmed in a statement that its staff treated 2 patients for gunshot wounds. Both were stabilized and released to go home. Edge allegedly fled the scene on a boat and headed towards a neighborhood community of Oak Island. Edge is a resident of Oak Island, where police said they were aware of him. A United States Coast Guard crew detained Edge and turned him over to the Oak Island police after spotting him allegedly loading a boat at the public ramp in town. Law enforcement officials from the Oak Island Police, Southport Police, and Sheriff's Office and the State Bureau of Investigation searched Edge's boat, vehicle, and residence. Officials did not provide any details, but stated an assault rifle was found during the search. Court records also state that Edge changed his name in 2023 from Sean William Debbie Voice. Coring stated that Edge is a self-described combat veteran who was injured in the line of duty and suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder. Edge's ex-wife, Rachel Crowell, stated that she has not spoken to her ex-husband in about a decade. Court records show that their divorce was finalized back in 2009. Kroll has stated he has been, quote, crying out for help for a very long time regarding his behavior and mental health, referring to Edge by his prior name. Kroll also added that, quote, what Sean did was very wrong. Quote, I'm sad for these families. I'm sad nobody helped him, and this could have been prevented. Island Police Chief Charlie Morris stated that Edge was known by his officers as Edge, frequently hung out at the pier. He also filed several lawsuits against the town of Oak Island within the last couple of years. The district attorney described the victims as vacationers visiting the waterfront bar where live music was playing. The yacht basin is in the southeastern corner of the state, quote, where the intercoastal waterways, Cape Fear River and Atlantic Ocean converge. So what I'm gathering here is that America, in all of its great wisdom and glory, right, it likes to, formulate and make these brand new toys. But once their brand new toy gets broken, America tends to throw it away. They put it directly to the wayside. So this is when you hear the ex-wife that divorced this man, back in 2009, basically say that, yeah, he's broken. He's somebody that specifically needed help, and all these other types of things. It's pretty sad that this happened, but it could have been prevented if only the American government actually cared. So within that, what I'm saying is that you're looking at a very clear instance of America failing its soldiers, its people, right? The ones that are supposed to go out there, life and limb, they risk their souls, their bodies, right, in order to protect our freedoms. But even though they do that, and that's a heavy toll to sit up there and carry, they come back home broken. They come back home shattered. They come back home pretty much with nothing. The same way that they left is not the same way that they come back. And America does nothing in order to set things right, or at least even halfway. And the other thing I want to note is that when it deals with this instance, in the very first clip, they made sure to tell you that they had a suspect. They had somebody in custody, but they didn't specifically tell you what the race of that person was. They didn't tell you, in a sense, who that person was. And this is what I tend to talk about the most in a lot of the videos when I cover when it's a shooter or something of that nature. The media does the exact same tried and true method of deliberately stating who it is without stating who it is. And this is something that Black Americans have always known, or at least have had to figure out for the longest time possible. And the other instance of which I want to bring up is that within about 2 to 3 weeks, we've had a multitude of shooters. And all of these shooters have been white, European, Caucasian, or white-like in nature. And there's always some type of thing directly with it. Something that people want to say, oh, there were signs and symptoms that this person was broken, or there were certain things that led up to these events, or maybe if you look at this, it'll sit up there and tell you X, Y, and Z. So even within this instance of some of the information I was able to look at when it dealt with this military man, they stated that he has Facebook posts out there which are unhinged and all of these other types of things. In a sense, when you read them, people will say that, oh, this is a person that's obviously crying out for help, but nobody's listening, right? Nobody's paying attention up until, it's too late. So like I said, I don't know what to tell people. At the end of the day, as I've commonly stated to a lot of folks directly out there, white folks, I've said that there's a problem within your society, within your communities, of which you guys need to fixate on and actually talk about. Instead of being fixated and talking about Black Americans like, oh, you guys need to fix your backyard and your front yards, and you need to make sure your house is in order before you focus it. No, white folks, y'all are the majority of this country. A lot of your kids are in the military. A lot of your kids are in the armed forces. A lot of your kids are National Guard. A lot of your kids have access to weapons. Again, I'm Black in quote unquote a statistic, but whatever statistic that you have, I pretty much blew past that. And yeah, I never had access to a gun. I wasn't out here on the streets spraying up. I wasn't doing any of the stereotypes that, people like to present, or the things that people have received by way of social media or by entertainment, movies, books, and so on and so on and so on. But I've always known, and I've always seen and heard white boys always having their hands directly on ammunitions, on weapons. For all intents and purposes, white folks, you guys have the utmost knowledge when it deals with different rounds and ammunition. I'm pretty sure if you go in, amongst the white crowd and you drop a bullet directly on the ground, they can tell you the caliber, they can tell you the casing, they can tell you the direct increments of gunpowder, and they're like, white boys are very, very knowledgeable on things that are very destructive and or can or have the capabilities of taking life. So like I said before, with all of that being said, white folks, at the end of the day, this is a problem that y'all caused, and this is a problem that y'all need to sit up there and fix. There's no way to sit up there and to blacken this issue. There's no way to goalpost this. This man obviously has served. You can see directly on his clothing. So white folks, if you actually care about your kids, your people in your communities, you need to fix this. If not, then I guess you're just going to let it be, and it's going to get worse and worse, just like it's been getting over these many decades that you guys have refused to do anything about it. You guys have done everything about everything else, right? You want to bring in ICE. You guys want to stand up to Black protesters. Y'all want to do a variety of things and call out stuff on social media. All lives matter, blue lives. Y'all want to do all of those things, but when it deals with the actual veterans that you say that you care so much, when it deals with the military servicemen that you guys say that you love so much, you got friends, family, and co-workers, you got people of past, people that are currently serving, you've even served yourself. When it deals with all of those things, and you guys be on all of these holidays, and y'all want to show how patriotic you are, you guys really aren't as patriotic as you say that you are. And it shows. You're patriotic a few times out of the year. The rest of the years, y'all don't care nothing about the vets. Y'all don't care nothing about the VA and how broken it is. And like I said, it shows. It shows in ways like this, and how other people get affected because of your lack of managing or management of a situation and a problem of which you yourself are the causation of. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.